What can only be described as mother's intuition woke Stephanie Holladay Edson up in the middle of the night on November 7th, 2014. She woke her husband Aaron up, and the couple discovered their 5-year-old daughter Laney missing from her bed. Moments later, they found her in the arms of a stranger fleeing on the front lawn.
What's the address of your emergency? And your name?
Stephanie.
Okay, Stephanie, tell me exactly what happened.
There was a man in my home, and he took my 5-year-old daughter, and I happened to wake up, and he had my daughter outside, and my husband ran out there and got him from her.
Okay.
But he took my 5-year-old daughter.
All right. So, but you do have your daughter back now.
Yeah, he went and grabbed her, but he's out there somewhere, and my husband went and grabbed him, but he came in my home. My daughter was in the basement and took my daughter out of the basement.
Okay. All right. Was the man white, black, or Hispanic?
Aaron, what color was he? He's white, and he's down the road.
All right. How old did he look to be?
I don't know. I didn't see him. My husband did. Aaron, I need you to go find him.
No, tell your husband to stay there. We're going to get the officers out. I need to know what he looks like so the officers can find him. Can you ask your husband for me about how old he looked to be?
How old, Aaron? 40 to 50.
Okay,
Bald.
He was bald? All right,
yes,
and what color shirt was he wearing?
What color of clothes, Aaron? Shorts and a t-shirt.
All right, and where is he at now? Down the street, in which direction?
Yeah, he went, we live in a cul-de-sac, and he went south in our cul-de-sac.
All right, I'll get that information out to the officers.
Oh, please
right
hurry.
Now. Okay, and how long ago did this happen?
This just happened. I ran outside. My husband was still carrying her in the house, and
okay.
I grabbed my phone.
Were weapons involved or mentioned?
No, but he was saying something that he's messed up and someone's going to hurt him or something. But he took my daughter from my house.
Okay, I understand. That's, and we're going to get police out there as soon as possible. So how did he leave?
Laney, did he take you from your bedroom? How did the man come in and take you? He was walking. He didn't have a car that I could see. I don't know how he got in here. We must have fallen asleep with the door unlocked, but for him to come in here and have gotten to my children, they're in the basement.
Are you or anyone else in immediate danger?
No, but I don't know if this person is. He has my daughter.
We're getting police officers out there right now, okay? Does anyone need medical attention?
No, I don't think so. Okay. He looks like he's still dressed and everything. Oh, my God.
All right. All right, do not disturb anything at the scene. And your daughter was in the basement, right? And he took her to the front yard?
Yeah, we heard the front door open. I heard her talking, and she's just the sweetest little thing. And I heard her voice, and we ran out. And my husband couldn't really see because he has contacts. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
We just bolted because I heard the screen door.
And what is he? White, black, or Hispanic?
I didn't see him at all. My husband said he's white.
No, not but your husband. Because I don't want the officers to stop your husband. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? My husband is also, he's bald with a beard, a short shaved beard. He has on Chicago Bears pajama pants and a zip-up hoodie.
All right, this wasn't someone that you guys knew at all, right?
No, no.
Okay. All right, well, you just let me know if you see your husband or if you see the man, all right? And we have officers going getting there as fast as they can.
It looks like I see my car coming back down the road.
Okay.
Yeah, my husband is turning into my driveway now. I see police officer cars. Okay, thank you. They're here.
The officers are there? I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, bye.
The couple was sleeping in their Utah home near Salt Lake City when the mother suddenly woke up. It was 4:07 a.m. She heard her daughter's voice in the hallway and knew something was wrong. The parents recounted the incident in an ABC interview.
She talks a lot, and she just does, and it's so precious. At that moment that I knew was the problem is I didn't hear her footsteps because she has a minor disability where she has a gait pattern that's unique. Her walking style is a little bit different than yours or mine, and it was missing.
The sound of the front door closing pushed the parents to take action. In the absence of those footsteps, Stephanie ran to her daughter's room, finding it empty. At the same time, her husband, Aaron, bolted outside, where he came face to face with a man holding the 5-year-old.
As soon as I got to the front door and saw it ajar, I knew there was something wrong. Got outside, moving very quickly, got to the end of our driveway when I didn't see her there, and saw a man holding our child who I didn't recognize.
Despite the chain of events, the stepfather felt a strange sense of calmness. The man was 48-year-old Troy Morley, someone unknown to the family. The kidnapper was behaving erratically and wearing shorts, even though it was only 40 degrees Fahrenheit outside.
Gave me a story that he was in trouble, and that if he had her with him, they wouldn't kill him. But that if he didn't have her, then he, they were going to shoot him, and if anything happened to him, we needed to call the FBI. And I said, okay, well, I want to help you, but you can't take her. And he just let out a big sigh, and I stretched out my arms to take her, and he just handed her over. Neither of our voices were ever raised, fortunately, because Laney didn't ever take it as this huge traumatic moment. It was just, fortunately, a very peaceful exchange.
When Stephanie reached the front, she saw Aaron standing eerily still. He had a look of sheer terror on his face when he turned around. The mother then took the child from her husband, ran inside, and made the 911 call. A neighbor, Tina Olson, then found Morley in her basement.
And I stood right here, like this, and I saw a man. And he was just like right here, just kind of like this, with no shirt on and trying to hide.
Morley faced numerous charges, including kidnapping and trespassing, after the incident. According to court documents, his lawyers say he wasn't planning to hurt the child, but was high on methamphetamine and thought she could protect him from some kind of danger. The kidnapper's life had allegedly spiraled out of control shortly after being introduced to meth in February 2014. The former computer engineer tearily told the court, "I had a good job, I had a good life, and I gave it up." Morley's father, meanwhile, insisted that someone had slipped his son drugs and he didn't know what he was doing.
Deeply sorry that I went into their sanctuary and their safety. I have a little girl myself, and she just got married, and I understand how you must feel.
He eventually took a plea agreement for 1 count of child kidnapping, and prosecutors dismissed 3 other charges: burglary, criminal trespassing, and interference with an arresting officer. Morley wept as he was handed a minimum of 6 years in jail. After the attempted kidnapping, the Edson family had to move home. Although they initially said the child was okay, Aaron later said he still has to be careful not to scare Laney when he wakes her up. In January 2022, Julio Cesar Segura stood outside a Chevron gas station convenience store in the Orchards area of Clark County, waiting for the most opportune time to rob them. He went into the store, held a gun at the clerk, and demanded all the cash.
911, how can I help you?
Hi, I work at the Chevron at 117th, and I just had an armed robbery.
Okay. How long ago was this?
Literally 30 seconds ago.
Okay. What kind of weapon?
It was a handgun. Looked like a Glock.
What did he say? Did he take anything?
He said, "Give me all the money in the register," and was pointing the gun at my chest.
Okay.
Segura drove away in a Mercedes he had stolen from a dealer in Yakima, intending to flee to Seattle. However, all did not go as planned. A police pursuit started, eventually turning to an on-foot chase after police used spike strips to stop the vehicle after leaving the freeway near the battleground. The suspect abandoned the car and ran away. Shortly after, a second 911 call came in from Dawnese Sahota. wife of Vancouver police officer Dawnese Sahota, who called when Segura had rung their doorbell, saying he needed help and wanted to make a call.
And how can I help you?
There's a stranger at our door saying he just crashed his car and he needs us to call somebody, but he's very suspicious and we hear a bunch of sirens in the background.
Yeah, give me 1 second here.
Yes, please.
Give me 1 second, okay?
Yeah, my husband's a police officer. He's at the door with him right now.
Okay, can you give me a description of him by chance?
No, I'm in the other part of the house.
Okay, so no description at this time. Okay, and let's see here.
He's talking to him at the front door right now.
Okay, all right. Do you guys keeping the door closed?
My husband has the door open. He's a police officer and he is armed.
Okay. Okay, so what I want you to do is, could you have him close the door? And can I get a description from him? We're looking for someone in the area, and so that's why.
I'm sure that's who it is.
Yeah, I think so too. So, if you're able to, please close the door and get a description if you can.
No, they're looking for somebody, honey.
Yeah, I need
They're on the line.
I need a description as soon as possible.
Yep, please. It's him. We need a description. He's Latino male. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just not comfortable. Now.
I understand. So Hispanic male, black hair, 5'5". Any other descriptors for him, like clothing?
She's trying to keep him here. Oh my gosh, they're in an altercation. You have to get to our house from 8.
Yeah, they're coming as fast as they can. Okay, keep that door closed. Okay, keep that door closed. We have your address.
You can't get to my house from 219th Street.
Okay, and where exactly can they get to your house from? Just want to make sure.
239th Street.
Get to house.
I need to find some handcuffs. He's got them on the ground.
Your husband has them on the ground?
Yes.
Okay, so restrained on the ground?
Yes, and I don't know where handcuffs are right now.
Okay. Just keep me as updated as possible, okay?
You have to get here from 239th Street.
Yeah, I let them know. Get to the house from 239th Street, okay? Keep me updated.
God damn it. He's in a fight with him right now.
Okay, just keep me updated.
Oh, hang on. I gotta call my...
They're moving in now, okay?
I need to call my son-in-law.
Well, you just keep me on the line until they make contact, okay? They're moving in now.
You have to call my son-in-law, Seven Petunia, please. Oh my God.
You want me to call them?
Yes.
Okay, I'll get the information when they're done. Okay, I just want to.
He's fighting with him right now. I don't know what to do. Oh my God.
Yeah, I want you to keep your safe distance. Okay, they're coming in now.
No, I can't. I have to go help him. Oh my God.
I know it's unsafe. Okay, do you see any gun on the suspect at all, or is it just your husband?
He's reaching for something right now. My husband has him. He's in white. My husband is on the ground with him. Yes, the officers are here.
Okay, let me know when the officers have him, okay? They're coming in, okay? Let me know what's going on.
He's hitting my husband.
Okay, so they're coming in, okay?
Oh my God, he's trying to get...
What's going on? Hello? Hello? Gunshots. That's gunshots. Hello, ma'am, can you hear me? Ma'am, can you hear me? Hello, ma'am, can you hear me? Hello, ma'am, can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
You have to go help. Okay. No. It's okay. Come on. It's okay. Come on. No.
Hello?
Oh my God. Come on. That's okay. This is my husband. I don't know. We're going to get here. Come on. Let's just go over there. Oh my God.
Nope.
At one point, the suspect walked away from the couple's front door and appeared to be heading off the property, but came back when Dawnese Sahota stepped outside to talk to him. Segura would later tell police that he had started to leave, but the man opened the door, so he turned back and approached, thinking he might get some assistance. Sahota allegedly said, "Oh wait, I might be able to help you," then stepped out of the house with a gun, identified himself as a police officer, and told him he would make a citizen arrest. In quick succession, one man took another to the ground in the driveway of the home. Aerial video shows a dark item falling to the driveway's pavement as the two continued to wrestle a couple of feet away. Segura was able to break free, stood up, and ran to the front door after stabbing the off-duty officer 3 times, prompting Sahota to pick up his gun and chase the suspect. At that exact moment, deputies responded and tried to stop a fight between 2 men in the driveway. Masses of information poured in, including the call, police radio dispatches, and aerial video. Sadly, none of it helped determine who the officer or the suspect were. Within 4 minutes of the 911 call, Clark County Sheriff's Deputy Jonathan Feller pulled up and shot 52-year-old Donald Sahota 3 times with a .223 caliber rifle, killing him. This was the first on-duty police fatality in Vancouver since 1883. After the shots were fired, Segura exited the home, walking backward as instructed with his hands in the air. He complied with commands to get on the ground and was arrested. The sheriff's deputy said he fired after seeing Sahota grab a gun in the driveway and race to the porch, kicking the front door, and mistook him for the suspect. Vancouver Police Chief James McLevane spoke out for the first time since the shooting.
Don was really just a great man. Honest, kind, loved to help people. He was a great son, wonderful father, and husband.
He also delivered a message from Sahota's family.
While police officers are heroes, they are also human. Being a law enforcement family, we understand that this is one of the hardest jobs in the world, often involving split-second decisions that mean life or death. We would like everyone to know that we hold no ill feelings toward the Clark County Sheriff's Office or the deputy involved in this tragedy, and hope others can show them grace as well.
During the investigation, records and videos of the night showed new details as to how the confusion happened. Segura was arrested and faces 3 first-degree murder charges, 1 for each stab wound, and a first-degree kidnapping charge that accuses him of grabbing at Sahota's wife while pushing his way into the home. In an interview with investigators, Segura said, "It was crazy because I just asked a cop to help me run from the cops." In media interviews, his mother, Eva Segura Mendoza, expressed her shock as Segura had never done anything like this before. She says although he struggled with his mental health, he did what he could to help her, including paying rent.
¿Qué lo llevó a hacer eso? Es lo que no. Todo estaba bien, todo. O sea, no entiendo. A lo mejor.
He wasn't okay. Maybe that's why he acted like this time.
Esta vez sí.
She also apologized to the officer's family for her son's role in the tragedy. Feller was placed on administrative leave, as is standard in fatal shootings by law enforcement officers. The Clark County District Attorney's Office later released the investigation files to the deputy. Here, he retells the events of the night. Feller often had to pause, crying throughout.
So I pulled up to the front of the house, and I see a male, a person who generally matches the last update that I had. Tan skin male, white-black combination of shirt and jeans. That person is running back towards what I can see as a gun laying on the ground. As I pull up, that person reaches down and gets for the gun. As he does that, he looks right at me. But it's all very fluid, very fast. Looks at me, reaches down, grabbing the gun, takes a hold of the gun, and runs back to the house. I gave him commands to get on the ground. I didn't see any response from those commands. He's actively trying to get in the door. I'm not sure if he's trying to kick it, if he's trying to beat on it. I can see that he's trying to get in. So I believed that if that person got in that house, they would kill them. And I had to stop that person from getting in and hurting those innocent people.
After Sahota's death, the partner and parents of a man killed in 2020 by Clark County Sheriff's Office deputies during an undercover drug sting filed a federal wrongful death lawsuit against the agency and deputies involved, one of whom was Feller. 21-year-old Kevin Peterson Jr. was shot and killed on October 29, 2020 by 3 Clark County deputies after he ran from a drug sting with a gun in the unincorporated community of Hazeldale. The lawsuit claims that Clark County's failure to terminate discipline or retrain Feller led to Sahota's death. Some outlets say the Lower Columbia Major Crimes Team in Cowlitz County is continuing to investigate the shooting of Sahota by Feller, while others say he has been cleared. On February 9, 2022, hundreds of first responders and citizens attended a procession and memorial for the fallen officer, Dawnese Sahota. 22-year-old Tiffany Mead called 911 saying she tried taking her own life. She was calling from her car while holding her throat in an attempt to stop the bleeding. At one point, her estranged husband, Chris Erdman, took over.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
I'm in front of Davis High School.
Okay, what's going on there?
My neck's bleeding. I need help quick.
What happened?
I tried to commit suicide. Please help me.
All right, and I just need to ask a few questions, okay? What did you use? Do you still have the knife with you?
No, I threw it out the window.
How much are you bleeding?
A lot. My shirt is soaked.
What's your name?
Tiffany Mead.
Okay, is anybody with you, Tiffany?
My husband and my son.
Okay, where's your husband? Can I talk to him? Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, is he sitting down?
Yeah.
Do you have a dry, clean cloth that you can apply pressure to her neck?
I got my shirt, so...
Well, we need something. Are you applying pressure?
Yeah, she has her hand on her throat.
Okay, do you know why she did this?
I don't know.
And what did she use to cut her? She said she threw it out the window, did she?
Knife.
Okay, where's the knife right now?
Somewhere down in a goalie or something.
Is there an You let me know when an officer shows up.
Okay, we see a lot.
Wave your arms and honk your horn.
Honk your horn.
Is she still conscious and breathing? Okay. Okay, are they there?
Yeah, the ambulance is right here.
Okay, I'll let you go. Thank you.
In July 2013, officers arrived to a bloody scene. Mead was sitting in the front seat and her 2-year-old son Noah was sitting in the back seat. Erdman was pacing the sidewalk next to the car. He repeatedly told the police that Mead had tried to take her life, saying over and over that she was crazy. He had no shirt on since it was wrapped around the woman's neck to stop the bleeding. Just before the 22-year-old was rushed to the ER, she told the deputy, "Keep him away from me. He did this to me. Save my baby." Miraculously, Mead could still talk since the knife had not cut her trachea. Once she was in the ambulance, the panicked mother called her mother.
She called and she said that Chris had tried to kill her and she needed me to pick up Noah. I had no idea what she was going through at the time.
While assessing the scene, a detective noticed blood outside the vehicle. They then found out that the pair had met up a mile from the scene. In a parking lot, they found a second pool of blood. Finding this suspicious, Erdman was taken into custody. He wasn't initially arrested but was not free to leave. Here, they questioned the husband. When Erdman tells detectives that he doesn't remember what happened and doesn't want to speak anymore, they arrest him and charge him with attempted murder because, miraculously, Mead survived. In an interview with 48 Hours, she recalled how it happened.
He told me not to bring anyone. He kept reminding me to come alone. Come alone.
They walked towards each other.
I was terrified. He had this look. He was so determined coming at me. I didn't know what he was gonna do. And he had one hand on my mouth. He pulled something out of his pocket and he slit my throat. And as he's slitting my throat, he says, "Shh, don't scream, stay calm." And I didn't scream. And I told him I was getting dizzy, so he opened my car door for me so that I could sit And he said, you know what I want. Say it. So I said, I love you, and I'll get back with you. And then he said, seal it with a kiss. And he leaned in, and he kissed me as blood's pouring out of my neck. Then he said that we needed to come up with a story if I was going to call 911. So I said, okay, I'll tell him whatever you want me to do.
Investigators knew that they had to find the weapon to prove without any reasonable doubt that the accused was the one who cut her throat. But even with all the search options available, they couldn't. 1 month after the incident, an unsigned letter arrived with the judge. It came from a Mary Olson. In it, Ertman's story was backed up, saying that Mead had planned to do this and frame him. It made investigators question who was telling the truth. That was until the name and address came back without anything. The sender didn't exist. Detective Jen Daly was adamant that Ertman needed to be charged with murder instead of aggravated assault, since the latter would only lead to a year of jail time. Daly knew that he would try to kill Mead again once he got out. The detective listened to recorded jail calls for 5 months before looking into a person Ertman had mentioned repeatedly. That man was Raymond. His surname was kept out of the public knowledge. He was out on probation at the time after a drug-related stay in the same prison. He agreed to speak to officers on camera.
Did you get to know any of the inmates in there? What about a guy named Christopher Ertman?
Oh, yeah. He's a quiet guy.
Did he ever talk about the situation that he was in with his ex-wife and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
What happened in jail stayed in jail, man.
There's a time to do what's right. And this is one of those moments in your life that you can start with that.
Okay, so what do you want to know specifically?
Just tell me about his conversations. What do you know?
He just admitted guilt, man, I guess. Like that he's the one that cut her throat.
Raymond also confessed that Ertman had asked him to copy a letter to the judge from Mead, saying that she orchestrated the whole situation. It wasn't the same as the previous letter, but it led detectives to believe they could prove that the accused had sent it himself. But Raymond's confession didn't stop there.
Did he ever ask you to do anything to Tiffany?
Yeah.
That question was purely just a shot in the dark.
Tell me about that.
He just asked me if I had the connections to arrange for bad things to happen to her. I told him that I did not.
He elaborated that bad things were specifically to arrange Mead's death. Ertman's handwriting matched the letter sent to the judge. However, they couldn't get him to admit the hit. Eventually, a jailhouse informant contacted Detective Daly. The information he provided allowed the investigators to set Ertman up for a confession. An undercover cop went in to speak to the accused, but instead was given a piece of paper with Mead's address. After the jailhouse snitch changed his mind, the plans changed. The undercover policeman went in to speak to Ertman himself, finally getting this recorded conversation.
And the next thing I know, I'm on the phone with him.
What's up, man?
Not much, how are you?
Good, how are you? I took a couple pictures and just want to verify with you.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that her?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was telling me was, make it happen.
Yeah, just, have fun. Yeah.
And you're saying, all the way, right? Not...
Yeah, have fun.
Okay. Is there a time period? Is there a...
No.
No?
Sooner the better.
Sooner the better?
Yeah.
Okay.
They agreed on $5,000 to have Mead killed. Nearly a year after Ertman slit Mead's throat, the case didn't go to trial. He took a plea deal.
I'll take blame for it. Yeah, I did it, but I was not in my right mind. I'm not dangerous.
In 2018, detectives Jen Daly and Bob Thompson went to Ertman's parole hearing with Tiffany Mead. They had been to every hearing since. This time, he has been denied parole and will not have another chance at it until 2029. When a frightened 17-year-old Esperanza Quintero called 911 in an attempt to help a gravely injured friend, she became frustrated with the conversation. The response she was met with by the Albuquerque dispatcher is shocking.
As we speak, I'm keeping him alive.
Okay, is he not breathing?
Barely. Hey, good job. Just stay with me, okay? Okay? There you go. Good job, David.
Is he breathing?
He's barely breathing. How many times did I tell you?
Okay, you know what, ma'am? You could deal with yourself. I'm not going to deal with this, okay?
No, I can't.
On June 26, 2015, 17-year-old Jaden Chavez Silver was shot in a drive-by shooting, just 5 minutes after arriving at a house party. At around 10 p.m., a car passed the Albuquerque home and opened fire. The teen was sitting in the kitchen when he was shot and killed by a bullet fired into the house. That's when Quintero started performing CPR while she called 911. Unfortunately, Chavez Silver passed away later that day as a result of the shooting. Just a few days after, his mother shared a post on his Facebook memorial page that read, "I not only lost a piece of my heart, I also lost the chance to celebrate his 18th birthday, his high school and college graduations, to watch him get married one day, and become a parent and see a child of his own. I am trying to grieve through the pain and cope with my loss, but it is a daily struggle." In an interview with KOAT, Esperanza Quintero said the traumatic night played through her mind repeatedly.
And I'm talking to the operator. He just hung up on me, and she says, I know, I'm trying to get someone else on the line for you. If he would have made it or not. But if he had just tried to help, just a little.
Chavez Silver was a football player at Manzano High School and also loved wrestling. He planned to enlist in the Air Force after graduating college. The Albuquerque dispatcher, Matthew Sanchez, resigned soon after the clip came to light. He had worked at the fire department for 10 years and as a dispatcher for 3 years and 5 months. Initially, the department investigated his conduct, but they terminated it with his resignation. The department released the recording after news organizations got an anonymous tip. A family spokesperson for the victim, Dan Sparego, spoke after hearing the recording.
When they heard the 911 call on the news, they're heartbroken. They're beyond belief about what happened, but at the same time, they want to focus on catching the people who did this.
Despite the shocking response by Sanchez, a spokesperson for the Albuquerque Fire Department, Melissa Romero, said that he had dispatched an ambulance to the scene while still on the call with Quintero. The ambulance had arrived within 4 minutes and 26 seconds, a time she said was, below the national average. Additionally, Romero said that because Chavez Silver's medical records were sealed, she could not say whether he was dead by the time that the ambulance arrived. Ronald Silver and Nicole Chavez, Jaden's parents, sued only Sanchez, accusing him of medical negligence and wrongful death, the intentional abandonment of a patient while acting in the scope of his duties. They say that Sanchez's hang-up cost their son his last clear chance to be kept alive. They sought damages for medical negligence, wrongful death, and costs of suit. In 2017, 19-year-old Asias Madrid was sentenced to life in prison for the 2015 shooting. Madrid was already serving a 16-year sentence in an unrelated fatal shooting, and Judge Jacqueline Flores ruled that the 2 sentences must be served consecutively. The killer maintained he was not to blame for Chavez Silver's death. In a statement to the court, he said, "I apologize for the tragedy that happened, and that I wouldn't wish this upon nobody, but in all honesty, I'm not responsible for what happened in this case." Madrid was one of 3 people convicted in the drive-by shooting, but the only one convicted of murder. Prosecutors said that Madrid and Nicholas Gonzalez fired into the kitchen window of a home intending to hit a man who had beaten up Dominic Conyers weeks before. Instead, the bullets hit Chavez Silver. Gonzalez agreed to testify as a state witness in exchange for a juvenile sentence. Conyers, who prosecutors said was present during the shooting, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and shooting at a dwelling. Confusion over jury instructions led Judge Flores to declare a mistrial on 3 lesser counts that Madrid faced. But prosecutor Penny Gilbert said the state was not planning to retry Madrid. pointing out that the leftover charges would carry a juvenile sentence. Madrid's conviction brought a long journey of twists and turns to an end, including witness statements recanted, detectives accused of coercion, civil lawsuits filed, and a state legislator resigning. After the sentencing, Chavez Silver's mother, Nicole Chavez Lucero, spoke to the media.
I'm so happy that the verdict came in with the first-degree guilty sentence, and I think we're just in shock. It's been a really, really long, emotional 2 years, and we finally got justice for our baby.
In 2019, the city settled a lawsuit for the victim's family for $50,000. Meanwhile, after his resignation, Sanchez accepted a job about a year later at the Bernalillo Fire Department but was fired soon after. He received news of his termination only days after he was hired, leading him to later sue the city for wrongful termination. In 2018, Bernalillo Fire Department agreed to pay out a settlement of $25,000. That's it for today. Tune in next time for another gripping episode of True 911 Calls.